ages, a party for the ages. It's a party for the ages, a party for the ages. It's a party for the...
Hi guys, thanks for watching On the Rise, broadcast on Street Watch TV. It's Kitty Spice, and I'm here with Kitty MIXX, the Chief Mastering Engineer of Patchwork Studios. Can you explain what exactly that is for the people who don't know what mastering is?
Sure. Well, there's been a lot of smoke and mirrors about mastering throughout the whole years. And it's typically, there's a couple of reasons why people don't know about mastering. A lot of it has to do with because a lot of master engineers were like kind of solo. And it's because the rooms are so quiet. Some of the things we have to think about, a lot of math involved. So what happens out with the normal person that's actually doing music themselves, they grab a lot of these plugins because manufacturers can say, hey, you can do the same thing, smoke and mirrors, you know what I mean? So to do what I do, you have to start with a tuned environment, tuned speakers. You have to have the know-how of what we're doing with all this equipment that you see behind you. And truth be told, a lot of songs that come out and people go, oh, well, I'll just do it myself and turn it loud. That's not the answer. If it was the answer, then you wouldn't be turning songs up loud and then go to the club and go, well, damn, it doesn't sound like my Rick Ross record that came out. It doesn't sound like so-and-so that came out. So that means that the other factor is what was missing was the phase and time alignment. So that's a big part of my job. It's not the volume. That's the last thing I worry about. The big part of my job is really the phase and time alignment and group delay with your speakers. But in a nutshell, what that means is that when you actually do a song, if I had to put in layman's terms, this right speaker over here behind us is 180 degrees out of phase with that left speaker, but so are your ears. And that's how we hear and receive sound. So in other words, when something is panning across your face, that's how you know, hey, it started at my right side, now it's on my left side. All right, so speakers act the same way. So what that would mean is that if that speaker on the right is 180 degrees out of phase with the one on the left, math-wise, that means a +1 and a -1 equals what? 0 when they slam together, right? So if I were to do a song, just say I just did whatever my song, turn it up loud, throw it in the club, and it's out of time alignment, then the whole right side of the club is out of phase with the left side of the club. So everybody that's listening to you on stage, they hear,
Yeah.
that's why a lot of you guys get on stage and go, damn, Rick Ross or 2 Chainz or whatever was beating, but I heard everything. I got on the stage, I just hear 808s, and I sound like this. It's all been canceled.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have some props with you today to help really explain in a better term, in better way, you know, how sound acts, and how you are able to use this information to make dope records.
Gotcha. Well, I don't have a lot of props, but I did want to start with at least one. This bad boy is called a diffuser. All right. I know it just looks like a lot of random blocks, but these blocks actually set up off of the speed of sound, which is 1,130 feet a second. So the depth of these wells that's in here, this is a 9-inch block, so it's 9 inches deep. So, but the depths of these wells mean that the deeper it is, the more frequencies that it actually diffuses in your room. So what that means to us is that when you diffuse a sound, it actually spreads out in the room even. All right. So when this sound comes out in the room even, what that means to us, sitting there mixing and mastering whatever we're doing, the tone of everything is smoother. It draws a better image so you can hear everything. So I just wanted to show you guys this because in a lot of rooms I notice that I go in, especially a lot of home studios, that's one of the things that's missing, your diffusers. And actually, the smaller your room is, the more diffusers you need. Layman's term, put these on your back wall, it actually erases the wall they're sitting on. It's like it makes the wall disappear, but the frequencies come back about 10 dB lower and they're smooth, so it doesn't erase your images up here. So I just want to show you guys this. This block actually comes from Overtone Acoustics. So just look them up on the internet. Alright guys, I got something here that's kind of special here. This is actually just a noise sniffer for power. So I want to show you this because this is what typically is wired into your studio. It's just a power cord, right? Regular power cord go to your speakers, your UAD unit, whatever you're using, right? Your Avalon and so forth. But the reason why this thing is made so it can come out is because it's never meant to stay in there anyway. All right. This is actually a real power cord that you were supposed to replace this one with. But let me explain why it's so important. Typically, if you wire your studio in with something like this, let's just say Pro Tools, you're using Logic, Fruit Loops, or whatever it is, whatever the case is, if you pop your system on a 24-bit, right? But if you have dirty power, you're actually recording 16 bits of noise on 8 bits of audio. Well, let me show you what I'm talking about here. So we're gonna turn this bad boy on. Watch. So I know what's coming on this line. I'm gonna take this one. This one's from Essential Sound Products. See that? So imagine this is only one cable. So imagine your whole studio wire with all that noise. Hence all of the hissing that you got in your speakers. And you just pop in and just hear shh. You're recording 16 bits of noise, 8 bits of audio. That puts your audio back at Barbie doll. While like, hello, my name is Barbie. But that explains why you also have small, thin sounding vocals. That's one of the reasons. And it starts with the dirty power. So these bad boys actually reduce the noise flow about 6 dB. I've got 21 of these wired into my whole system. So you do 6 dB times 21. Do the math.
Okay, so I had the opportunity to ask Curtis Daniel the same question earlier today, so I'm really I get to ask you because you are probably the reason why you guys have this slogan. So what does sonically superior mean for you?
To me, sonically superior means being able to play a recording that got finished properly and hearing everything in its entire detail. Like without distortion, without just being overly loud or too bassy. So a sonically superior recording will actually mean that it started with a good recording from a separate recording engineer. Because he or she that's recording is like it's like your foundation. If you have a bad vocal, it's sort of like throwing a spoiled egg in a cake, and then the mix engineer mixed the cake, and then our master put the icing on it, and then you taste it. Right? So that is the equivalent of that. So you want to start off with a good recording, a very good mix. The better the mix is, the better the masters come out. We've even had some big artists that didn't even like their own songs. Like, for instance, like Rick Ross. He didn't like BMF. The song, Larry Hoover. Had a mixtape version out first, right? Mm-hmm. I actually liked the song, but he didn't like it, but it was because it was sonically incorrect. So one of our top mix engineers heard it. Hey, man, let me mix that record. His name is Ray C. He works here also. Ray gets the record. It was produced, but when Ray got the record, he listened to it, and I was actually sitting there. We went upstairs in our J9000 console, and he started replacing the sounds. It was produced correctly, but the sounds needed to be replaced. So I had to replace the sounds, and then we mastered it, and then we gave it back. It had that big 3D sound.
Yeah. Well, you have mixed and mastered a lot of songs that are hitters right now, like they're popular. You've done it. Do you get to meet a lot of these people that you are working with, or is it more of you get to actually just stay in your own lane and just really focus on the work?
I would say it's half and half. Believe it or not, I meet a lot of big artists, and I meet a majority of all my independent artists. Either they'll come in, they'll stay 1 or 2 sessions to figure out kind of what's going on. Then after that, they go, hey, Kenny, man, look, there's too much math involved. I don't know what the hell you're doing, but it sounds good when you finish, so we'll leave, we'll come back. And then some big artists, they'll come in just to say, hey, you know what, I've never been in my mastering sessions. And they're just as surprised as anybody else. Like, whoa, I didn't know all the stuff went into a master. We just always thought just turn it up loud.
Okay. What advice do you have for someone who wants to be in your position? You know, not that they're gonna take your job or nothing, you know, but you know that they are on a path and this is their goal.
Right. Well, believe it or not, it's not a concern like if somebody is going to take my job
Oh,
or
I know
not.
you're not worried.
Well, no, not even that. Not that. What I was about to say is that there's so much music out here that everybody can get into it. You know, so let's just figure on an average, if I'm doing anything from 900 to 1,000 something songs a year, and that's just me. You know, that's not even 1% of the rest of the world. You know, so there's a lot of music out there. But the biggest advice I would say is to do some research, not jump into the hype. When I mean the hype, anything that somebody can tell you, hey, use this one plug-in and just press this button and it's mastered or it's mixed, or just use this and it's gonna turn up loud, it's gonna sound just like this. Those are your smoke and mirror things. So like our parents used to tell us, when we were young, nothing is free. So it's going to boil back down to who works the hardest, who understands what they're actually doing. So my biggest advice, I guess, would be stay away from some of the hype, do some research, understand acoustics, how to design and take apart your gear. Like every piece of gear that's in this room, when I bought it, brand new, out the box, I tore it apart because it has to be tuned and calibrated from the inside. Same thing with the speakers. I didn't tear the speakers apart.
Okay.
But the room has to be calibrated, because if that stuff isn't calibrated, then the room is lying to you. The speakers are lying to you, so you can't make a good judgment call.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be some of the things I would say study and learn. The psychoacoustics, study of how you actually hear and perceive sound. And that's pretty much about it.
So you've had a very long relationship with Patchwork Studios and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say that you being able to grow here has done for you in your career, and what do you think it's done for Patchwork for where it is, and as an industry leader?
Gotcha. I think the cool thing is that when I actually merged with Patchwork, on both sides, we both had a passion to get something that was bigger to our clients than that was really offered to everybody. There's a lot of studios, I'm not knocking any of them, there's a lot of companies, I should say, that are actually just in the business just for the money. But on our ends, we sat back, we looked at, especially like a lot of urban markets or whatever, and said, you know what? It's a lot of stuff that these cats just don't know, or we just don't understand. So we tried to level the playing field for a lot of guys. So you're gonna hear me say all the time, I just really don't support mixtapes. I just don't. It's nothing good that comes out of them, at least from my end. But on our ends, we do things here that's kind of different. Like we do your major digital distribution, because a lot of cats will be putting music out and they really can't get the distribution, not without owning a lot of it. So we do that. We actually do the coding for your music. But when we do coding for your music, you guys still actually own your music. All right.
Okay.
We also do the coding for videos, because so many cats are doing videos everywhere, and they're just throwing them all over line, but they're not getting paid for them. So we actually do that for them. We get all your stuff set up for you, and that's on top of having a great sound. So now you have a great sound, and you have an avenue to get it out to actually make some
And a
money.
great brand too.
Right. Yeah. So we do that. We do the graphics. We do posters. The whole shebang. But the key is that we do all of this, and you own it. And I think that's one of the biggest things. And plus, we're like a family here. So when you come here, you walk in the door, we get a lot of cats go, man, I'm not so-and-so artist. I'm not so-and-so artist. I'm just me. And we go, cool, because so-and-so was independent when we started with her, So we all kind of grow together. It's a big relationship deal.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you some, I guess, a little more personal, random kind of questions. Okay.
Okay.
So Atlanta is like a big spot for nightlife and things like clubs, all that kind of stuff. And I know that you're probably like always in the studio working, or you at home, or you know, just trying to relax. But let's say that you are gonna go out, or you just want to go out and chill. What is your chill spot? Where would you go to hang out?
You know what? That's a good question because I rarely get to go out. But I can tell you what. I guess a typical weekend would be on my end.
Okay.
So no, I don't go to clubs. I'm a lot older now, so going to the club, I don't want to be the old dude in the club, like, hey, or, you know,
Hey,
whatever.
you in Atlanta, you will be surprised.
But so a typical weekend for me would be getting out of the studio, getting away from the music, and believe it or not, I play video games on the weekend.
Hey.
So a lot of us engineers here, we all do. You know, we're playing Call of Duty, Battlefield, Destiny, whatever it is. So that's what we kind of do on the weekends. So my other hobby outside of here would be like home theater stuff. So I've got this big, nice home theater, these gigantic TVs and screens or whatever. And my son plays Battlefield on one side of the room, and I'm on the other side of the room. But that's what we do.
Okay. This is a crazy question. So, growing up, what was your favorite song? Like a song that if it came on, you dancing. What was your song?
What was my song? God, they had a lot of them. That's a good question. My favorite one. I used to like Roxanne. I used to like Planet Rock. I used to like Arabi Rakim. I don't know, it's a lot of different ones. I guess back then all the music was just so different. There's just a lot of stuff to like, so I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know.
All right. Okay. So go ahead and like plug yourself for us if that's what you want to do. Give us your social media, website, anything like that.
I actually have an Instagram, I have a Facebook, and a LinkedIn account.
All right.
All of mine, you can find them easy. It's just Kenny at Patchwork for all of them. I don't have a Twitter yet, even though I've been told you need to get a Twitter. So
You're not missing anything.
Okay, cool. Cool. So yeah, that's how you can find me there. Then the number here is 404-874-9880. I'm typically here all day, every day except for the weekends.
Okay, well, thank you for letting us, come into your studio, your beautiful studio. I want to be like you when I grow up. Okay. But thank you guys for watching On the Rise, and keep watching Street Watch Radio.